Alright guys, welcome back to Persona 5. The last time you met in Persona 5. Well, we got shot in the head by Akechi. Oh, that's awkward. Because Akechi revealed himself to be the true culprit. But luckily, let's just say we faked him out. Because they'll explain the plan in a moment. But let's just say Akechi didn't shoot the real Joker. In fact, metaverse shenanigans. But Sai Nijima did save us, meaning that we're good. But everyone does think I am dead. They think I committed suicide, which sucks. But, so basically, according to everyone, we're dead. Which is funny because once we get back, meaning that we can't go to school, we can't do anything. Once we go back to school, no one finds it suspicious that I'm suddenly back after the supposed phantom thief that happened to be a high school student who also had a criminal record and was forced to leave his home. You know, the same exact backstory as Joker has. You know, because they explicitly said that in the announcement of his death. Supposedly, no one finds it weird that I came back after the Phantom Thief committed suicide right around the time I disappeared in the first place. No one finds that suspicious except like two people. And the people who find it suspicious are confidants that go to our school. Because Kawakami and Mishima are the only two people who know that I'm the Phantom Thief. So this is actually where we explain the, this is actually where they tell us about the plan. I don't know why this isn't voice acted, though, which is a little weird. I do think they change it in Royal and have it voiced. I might be wrong, though. I haven't gotten this far in Royal in a long time. Yeah, there were a lot of scenes in Royal that weren't voice acted in the original, but are in Royal, which, honestly, it kind of feels weird that some of, like, playing this version again kind of feels weird, with the fact that, some scenes are voiced while others are not. Like, for example, the most prominent example I can think of was the, Morgana pet scene, where, you can do the time to button mash prompt. That isn't voice acted in this version, but in Royal, it's voice acted. So it's kind of weird hearing Cassandra Lee Moore's meow repeatedly over and over and over again, and then supposedly throw up.
Since the death of their teenage leader, the Phantom Thieves have fallen silent. However, the police intend on continuing this investigation until the case is fully solved.
I'm sorry I'm late. I had to finish a few things at work. Where are they?
Waiting upstairs. Go tell him to come on down. I'm gonna fetch him.
You're her sister, correct?
Makoto told me everything. Futaba-chan, I'm sorry that I caused you so much trouble this past summer.
It's ancient history now.
Man, that goddamn detective.
Look who's...
That's what I said in Persona 4. Where was he keeping him?
You big bastard.
I'm assuming he had Takami's place. What the fuck? Oh, right, my TV does this.
You must be fine.
I don't know what's going on. My TV just turned off.
It truly is a relief to see your face.
What the fuck? Okay.
I bet that moron.
I know you guys can't see it, but my TV, like, just turned off. Well, okay. My setup is I use an old TV as a big monitor for my laptop, and it sometimes just randomly flashes off for a split second. I don't know why it does it, but I can still hear everything from the laptop, so I don't really know. I don't care. I don't care.
Hey, shouldn't we tell boss what really happened?
That'd be preferable.
We wanted to make our enemy believe the leader of the Phantom Thieves was dead.
What?
What we did was make that enemy kill his fake in the metaverse.
Hold on a sec. Enemy? Fake? What are you talking about?
The true culprit behind all these incidents set us up. Our goal here was to determine their identity.
True culprit?
Which was Akechi.
So you guys were going up against someone else?
It was Goro Akechi. You knew beforehand that he was the traitor, didn't you?
We all knew.
Akechi himself gave us the chance to strike back. He made one fatal mistake.
Couldn't you have just said from the beginning that Akechi was the real culprit?
She brings that up pretty well.
We could simply bring up. We couldn't have you suspect Akechi. Besides, neither you
She
nor
did
the
anyway.
investigators would have believed
There were a
us
few
if
times where
we
she
met with
suspected
you.
Akechi anyway. The most prominent example is about the laptop incident.
Phantom thieves. Not even I would think he was the culprit. In other words, you left him alone on purpose. That was a bold move.
Actually, what's funny is, my first playthrough, I actually was kind of trying to figure out who was the traitor, and I kind of ignored the pancake line because I didn't really think of it that much. And then when the game kind of had a flashback about, had a weird distortion around the Akechi arc,
Yes.
around the Akechi, when Akechi, after Akechi told us about he knew we were Phantom Thieves,
Our apologies.
I kind of started to piece it together. But like
True.
throughout that the entire game, I was thinking like, who is the traitor? Who is this guy?
He said something
I
very
initially
bad
thought
as
it
well.
was. I initially, for some reason, thought it was Makoto, and then I just kind of thought that was stupid. I think my main person I initially thought it was some sort of like Joker's shadow. Like I thought it was some sort of like stupid plot twist where it was Joker's shadow. But I'm pretty sure Persona 5 Scramble will do that for me. I didn't realize the pancake meme. I didn't realize the pancake line.
When we talked to Akechi
Yeah.
at the school festival, he was acting like he just realized Mona could talk. But we already saw him drop a mega hint about it way earlier.
Oh, I know a place. I want to go to that huge pancake-looking place we passed on the way
Oh,
here.
fuck off. I'm not updating. Leave me alone.
Am I mistaken? I thought I heard something about delicious pancakes.
I should really do that edit again, but I'm not. I'm probably not going to. I might just edit in the old clip. Actually, no. I already deleted the old clip. Fuck.
Mona was the only one who was talking about a pancake. That meant Akechi'd already been in the metaverse by then.
Actually,
And since he was lying to us about that, we assumed he had a hidden motive behind contacting us. It
Okay,
seems
quick
odd
question.
upon further thought.
at the time, he didn't know
Pancake
who
comment was
they
about a
were,
girl.
right? Wait, no. Madarame did mention the black mask figure.
He did approach us,
So,
but
and that was after Madarame's palace. So he may have already known. Okay, never mind.
Had to wiretap his phone.
Because I was thinking to myself, like, he didn't see Morgana talk. How did he? He didn't see Morgana, right, in the metaverse, right? So how did he know it was him talking?
My heart was pounding while I was doing it, though.
Even that ace detective could never have imagined a program being installed so quickly. Futaba's quirky nature proved to be a great help.
That was just an act. After a few days of listening, this confirmed his betrayal.
Then I'll guide the police into her palace and have them catch the Phantom Thieves in the act. That would be the only way to arrest them, given their methods. I'll deal with them after that. Let me see. We could say he stole the guard's gun and committed suicide during his imprisonment. How about that? Public security questioning will occur on the first day. And with that room, my task will be simple.
Is this for real?
Yes, the guard will be one of ours. We'll have to eliminate him after to destroy the evidence, though.
So they planned to get rid of that guard from the beginning.
Well then, I will make the arrangements the day after the arrest. And thus, the dangerous criminal responsible for the mass mental shutdowns shall end his own life. When he does, you will become a great hero who saved Japan from evil. As will I, of course.
I knew he was acting strangely, but to think he was this far gone.
He's no ace detective. Akechi is the perpetrator behind the mental shutdown crimes.
On top of that, there's someone else commanding Akechi. Someone with great authority. So great that they can order an assassination in a police station. That's why we had to make a move before they did.
I see.
Sorry for my lack of commentary. I'm just watching the story at this point.
We baited Akechi into Sis's palace, making him dispose of our leader's fake, but think he killed him. Can you elaborate on that in more detail? What exactly happened in my cognitive world?
We're sorry for using you without your permission. Your palace had all the conditions we needed.
What conditions? First, we required a place inside the cognitive world that was the same as in reality.
That place is based on the real world after all. Anywhere that's not warped looks just like normal.
That's why nobody but the person who uses the nav even realizes they're in the metaverse.
Back with Kamoshida, we came in from the station without even noticing.
Yeah, yeah. And with Maharare, though, I think it was all distorted, wasn't it? No, it was Kanashiro.
Palace when Makoto brought the suggestion to us.
Oh, Kumara's, though, was the same way, but that was also because he was in space.
I didn't quite understand it, but I went along with it.
But Nijima's palace was perfect. And since Kamoshida's palace was already taken down, we couldn't use that. And Mementos wouldn't have worked, huh?
Calm as well. But once her mind is set, she gets oddly impulsive.
I did have a bit of a rivalry forming with Akechi.
No, that's me.
I didn't myself anymore once you became a target, sis. The reason I joined the Phantom Thieves was to heal your heart, after all. My own achievements were all that mattered to me. I was desperate. I wasn't myself at all. I'm sorry I couldn't see that. That goes for the both of us.
We heard from Mako-chan that you were going to do the interrogation, Nijima-san.
And regarding its location, I take it you used the data from my laptop?
I'm sorry.
Go on.
By the way, you got a lot of porn.
We were able to confirm while we were checking the metaverse. First, our clothes didn't change when we were down in the interrogation room.
I like the little pictures.
Second, the scenery and details outside of the palace proper were the same as in the real world.
Once we heard that from Makoto, we secretly went to check it out without Akechi knowing.
There was also one more thing we absolutely needed to make this work. A perfect cognitive replica of him in the metaverse's interrogation room.
Since he had yet to be caught, though, there obviously wouldn't be anyone in that room.
Once we saw the casino guests and police officers, we were convinced this would work. They looked no different from actual living people.
Yeah, my question is, how'd they create a cognitive Joker? I don't know how... Okay, I'm assuming they just thought... I guess it was Akechi thinking that Joker was still in there. I mean, as simple as that, but still, it just kind of confuses me a little bit. Like, wouldn't it make sense that multiple people had the cognition?
Everything went as planned up until we defeated Sis's shadow. However, it was then that we were met with a terrifying, unexpected police ambush. As a result, even though we managed to grab the treasure, we couldn't get it out of the metaverse. Except that was all an act. We had prepared an empty briefcase beforehand, and merely acted like we were taking the treasure. This was because we knew the police would be coming for us.
We made sure before the operation that the police would be waiting to ambush us. And just as expected, he totally took the bait.
Him getting captured by the police went exactly how we planned it. And I had been interrogating him with no knowledge of this.
By the way, you did not need to tell me about every single one of the books you've read.
All I needed were the coordinates.
And you didn't need to tell me about how you fucked Makoto.
Akechi disposed of the fake in the palace and left thinking he had been victorious. It It must have been truly hilarious for our leader who sat idly in the real world's interrogation room. Surely he was acting quite cocky by himself in that.
He was. Remember that grin at the end of the interrogation room part?
You gave me your phone. I only took it because of what you told me.
It's a shame I didn't have the opportunity to see that for myself.
I couldn't see it either.
All I could do was try to handle all the messages that.
What would have happened though if, like, this is like a serious question. What if Futaba accidentally put everyone back too early? Like Akechi was walking out of the, like, right before Akechi opened the door to the interrogation room. What if she put him back and he turns around and he sees that Joker's still alive and he's just like, ah, shit. Like, I just like imagine Joker's like, oh fuck. He's like, damn it, Futaba, early.
We could return you to the real world as well.
I mean, I had to think of some way to keep you from running into Akechi mid-assassination.
Huh. Astounding. I hadn't the slightest idea that such a grand operation was taking place within me.
I'm so glad he was able to persuade you during the interrogation. Even though we knew Akechi's plan, we were pretty worried about that part.
True.
Why is that?
Without Sis on our side, Futaba's plan and subsequent breakout would have never been possible. That persuasion was easily our greatest gamble. We couldn't consult Sis beforehand. It was absolutely the make or break moment of the entire plan.
Still, I'm surprised you could convince me in such a short time. Were you confident you could do it?
Yeah, all I had to do was not press one of them. There was only really one dialogue prompt that could screw you over, and it was right at the beginning. It was the give up your friends or don't. Actually, two prompts, because the collaborators part can also lead to the bad ending. I'm sorry, game over.
And that there was a greater evil to pursue.
As a result, we emerged victorious.
Then the reason you kept this a secret from me was so you could catch the true culprit, correct?
Yes. Plus, you had lost control of yourself at the time.
This is stunning. All I can
I may
really
want to
do
mention
now-
that technically, I do believe we did get Nijima's treasure out of the palace, so she did have a change of heart. We just don't know. We just don't notice it, to be honest.
Police never even checked it.
Huh?
They had a coroner working to ensure his death was reported as a suicide. That coroner didn't take one look at the scene and just passed along a falsified death certificate.
The bad guys have that much influence?
The bad guys are bad.
The police station would be reckless otherwise. We also knew of a possible conspirator.
Thanks to Futaba-chan's messages and the guard's demeanor, I eventually came to understand. And since the higher-ups at the police knew nothing of this, they were thrown into disarray. As a result, his suicide during imprisonment was reported on the news, just as Akechi planned.
And with that confusion, he was able to escape with Nijima-san's help.
I made sure nobody would check the morgue for his body, and thanks to that, nobody knows he survived.
Thinking back to the interrogation, though, I can't believe what they did to him. The callous use of violence, and even drugs, is utterly abnormal. If he had lost consciousness and hadn't been able to tell Sis about the phone, he would have died. I'm truly glad you made it back safe.
It was a breeze. Don't fucking lie.
Don't. You shouldn't have to remember such things.
It still freaked me out when I saw the suicide on the news, though.
Freaked all of you out.
We made sure to live normal lives while he was being interrogated to avoid drawing any suspicion. Even with that, I couldn't help but worry for him in my heart.
Well, I knew right away that her plan worked out.
I wanted to believe, but considering what we were up against.
Ryuji's a bit on the dense and carefree side.
Can it, cat?
I had to be patient and avoid this place until things settled down. I finally feel relieved.
We knew he was alive, but it was difficult to not worry until we could confirm it in person.
Now that I think about it, my interrogation was just a formality for the head commander. What a joke, letting me interrogate someone who was meant to die. They just wanted to avoid backlash. Very well. From here forward, I will do my utmost to assist you. You saved me, after all.
That's reassuring to hear.
I'll do whatever I can to help too. Just let me know. Let's take a break for now, though. This old brain is pooped. Oh, and feel free to use the first floor when you guys want to get together to talk. You'll need a hideout where you can be safe. Just say the word, and I'll close shop early.
Are you sure?
This guy can't leave. Plus, you won't make much progress if people can hear you from downstairs. It's not like this place is the liveliest joint in town. It won't be a huge loss for me.
Oh, thanks.
Let us accept his offer. What a great man.
You know what's funny? Technically, Persona Q2 takes place during the events of Nijima's palace. Meaning that the interrogation room stuff should have been way longer. Ooh, David Cross!
That sounds familiar.
It's me, Akechi.
Enter.
I knew it. Goro Akechi is working with David Cross. Oh wait, we established this last part.
More importantly, you've done well with regard to the prosecutors.
The cause of death for the SIU director has been settled as a stroke.
I had him work quite substantially on forging evidence. His loss should be mourned.
It was thanks to his efforts that I could enter the Phantom Thieves' interrogation room, too.
The SIU is in disarray with his death. I'll take my time choosing a successor after the elections.
At any rate, I'm now praised as a hero, and I owe it all to the Phantom Thieves.
All possible hindrances are now gone. There's no doubt that this election is mine.
And those chipmunks. I'm not stopping with the David Cross joke. I'm not stopping anytime soon. You can't make me.
And on to our next story, the snap election for the House of Representatives. Discussion is swirling around potential nominees as the deadline for candidacy announcement nears. Candidates will announce on the 23rd of this month, while voting will be held on the 18th of next.
Elections, huh? Don't matter to us. It's not like we can vote in them yet anyways.
Why don't we resume our conversation?
Well, the Phantom Thieves are back together. We can finally take it to Akechi and the bastard backing him.
Have you figured out who's behind all this?
Akechi accidentally let that slip after the murder.
Jesus Christ, Akechi.
Shido. Feels like I've heard that somewhere.
He is unmistakably a man of power if he has such strong connections to the police.
Shido? Could it be Masayoshi Shido?
Who?
I believe he's a politician. Remember Ryuji? You said his speech was too loud.
For real?
It's certainly possible that Shido is the mastermind.
Huh?
Do you have some kind of evidence?
Nothing material. However, there are various conditions which align with that possibility. First, he would profit from damage done to the current administration by the psychotic breakdowns. He's maintained a negative stance toward the Phantom Thieves and has gained tremendous popularity. On top of that, he'll most likely become the next Prime Minister if he wins this upcoming election.
No!
Did he set us up with that election in mind?
If he
Yes.
is behind all
He's
this,
evil.
Stark opposition to his honest public image.
So his current position and popularity is just him benefiting from the mental collapses.
We'll make him have a change of heart, no matter what it takes.
Mom.
Shido, huh?
What is the
Shit.
I had a feeling he was wrapped up in all this, just based on the connections I had from my previous job.
What?
I think the one who crushed Wakaba's research and confiscated her materials was probably Shido. From the moment Wakaba died, I had a hunch he was involved. But there wasn't anything I could do. So I chose to protect Futaba and went into hiding.
Why didn't you say that sooner?
You guys would have definitely gone after him if I had. He would have just killed all of you, no doubt. That's what he usually does to people who get in his way.
Originally, I was looking into the mental shutdown cases. It was then that I accidentally stumbled upon government research regarding the psychotic breakdowns. So I tracked down the whereabouts of that research data and met with the associated parties. Boss was one of those parties. I would never have imagined all of this was connected. The mental shutdowns, psychotic breakdowns, Shido, and even the Phantom Thieves' actions.
Way back when, Shido kept saying he was going to be Prime Minister one day. Nobody believed him, though.
What's going to happen to this country if Shido becomes Prime Minister? What about the world?
Oh, we also said the same thing about Trump.
The issue is simpler than that. This is nothing more than yet another selfish adult trying to impose his will on the public.
We gotta expose that rotten bastard!
Yeah, we'll do it like always. Then let's check the nav.
He's in there, guaranteed.
Sayoshi Shido, the guy running for Prime Minister. Got a hit! Well, duh. Ain't a surprise he has one.
Where would the location be?
You know, I want to mention something. His name is Masayo Shishido. Yoshi isn't his name. I'm pretty sure he also commits tax fraud. Just saying.
What does he do? And where? We don't got a clue about this guy's life.
His palace must be somewhere that politicians frequent. Any ideas?
We got a hit!
How
I
arrogant must he be to see himself as the ruler of the Diet Building?
Isn't it the Diet Building? I could have sworn I've heard Japanese people pronounce it like that. I might be wrong though. Like I hear that it's pronounced differently. I heard it's not Diet Building. Like I think that was actually an English. I think that was like an English translation screw up. I might be wrong though. I heard something about that.
Time for revenge. Then it's unanimous.
All we gotta do now is figure out what he thinks that Diet Building place is.
So that's the app that allowed me to enter the metaverse.
An old fart like me can't wrap his head around all this stuff.
We'll have to deal with this before Election Day, December 18th. That means we need it done by the 17th.
It's best we hurry before they discover there's no body in the morgue.
Should we start tomorrow then? We can meet at the Diet Building after school.
That reminds me, what are you gonna do about school? You can't show up if you're supposed to be dead.
Miss Kawakami said he went back home for family reasons.
That's what I told the school.
Smart.
Let him find out you're alive then, alright? This whole thing would be for nothing.
Got it. Haru, let's hang out tomorrow. Got it. Haru, let's hang out. I'm not lying about this. I actually do go out. You can still hang out with confidants and stuff during this palace. I'm not lying, and it's hilarious to me because I just... never mind. It's so stupid to me.
Too lenient a sentence for such an abominable criminal.
We'll be making use of the police statement that the leader of the Phantom Thieves committed suicide. Our leader, who is presumed dead, will come out of hiding to deliver a grand statement. He'll say he has escaped prison, not committed suicide, and was in fact almost killed by a criminal.
Everyone's gonna flip.
You guys thought through all this stuff too?
We're intellectuals, you know.
Except for Yuji.
Why you needed such a daring trick is getting captured and appearing to be killed. What frightening teenagers.
But the true battle has only just begun. We won the first round, but we must stay on our toes.
Yeah, this ain't the time to be celebrating.
These people tried to trap and kill us. There is no end to their inhuman, conniving nature. We will need to be prepared for whatever may come our way.
Alright. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Made it this far. It's already been 2.5 years since we met.
Back then, you earned the media's attention as a young politician who could rise up against bureaucracy. Because of that...
Also, you had those weird chipmunks. Seriously, what happened to those?
To think I would fall for the ruse schemed by those decrepit fools in power. I recall that's when you came to me. You promoted yourself saying you had special powers. If it wasn't for the research on cognition that I dabbled in, I would have thought you insane.
I made those troublesome opponents psychotic, and erased any trace of that scandal.
Who'd think that tampering with a person's heart could trigger a psychotic lapse or mental shutdown. And when someone like that said he'd support me, I had suspected there'd be an ulterior motive.
It's because I sympathized with your aspiring ideology. I believed that your ideals needed to be achieved for the sake of the country's future.
Well, my faith in you was precisely why I pulled the plug on that research. I only need you using that power. It'd be troublesome if someone else uncovered how it works.
Wakaba Ishiki, was it? That researcher. She wouldn't have had to die if she just complied.
Any suspicions should be snubbed out.
Yeah, Akechi killed Wakaba, by the way. He literally killed anyone who had a mental shutdown. If it was a mental shutdown, it was Akechi. Meaning that there were two... Let's see. 2.5 years Akechi's been doing this. Meaning he's probably... He's guaranteed killed Wakaba, Principal Kobayakawa, the SIU director, that guy on the train. So it's at least 4. Okumura, so that's 5. So guarantee he's killed at least 5 people. I'm pretty sure there's more though. Wait, did that guy at the on the train die? I feel like he did, considering he crashed a train head first. Yeah, I don't know.
Those who get in the way must be eliminated at times. That's the correct way to use the metaverse.
Still, it would stand out if there were continuous deaths and scandals with your political rivals, which is why I made them suspects. Prosecute the targets that I turn psychotic, and solve them as cases unrelated to you. And thus, the charismatic ace detective was born.
Thanks to your efforts, my clean image remains untarnished, and I've monopolized public opinion. Once I gained public sentiment, collaborators from all sectors began approaching me on their own. The police were no exception. With their management in my pocket, keeping them in check was easy.
When the Phantom Thieves emerged, I thought things might become somewhat troublesome.
And they were just brats once we looked into it. All we needed to do was lay the blame on them.
When you told me that, I knew then that you were the better man.
Their popularity was a bit beyond my expectations, but flipping it made the negative press stronger. After that, all I had to do was openly berate them. I've been gaining more supporters since. The current administration is dead with ongoing scandals. Never mind the fact that they're my doing. Even the government parties have begun splitting up, and they're dissolving just as planned. The time has finally come. Just a little more, and I will take the seat of Prime Minister. However, inauguration isn't my goal. That's when everything truly begins. I'll make this country rich for the sake of its selfish and ignorant masses who can only rely on others.
In other words, you're creating a powerful country that can compete with the world.
The public resonates with my ideals and follows me. And for that, some sacrifices can't be avoided. That is my duty as the chosen one. Your assistance has been very influential in making my plans proceed smoothly. When I become Prime Minister, I'll grant whatever wish you want.
With this most recent case, my name has become known across the country, perhaps even the world. Surely my story will be passed down as a hero who won against monsters that could control people's hearts. I believe I'll lay low and devote myself to my studies.
I suppose with your age, you wouldn't come up with debauched desires.
I am thinking about the future, though.
Okay, then. That was odd.
Guess he won't be going to school for a while. And we'll have all the time to come up with the plans together.
I have no idea what he said there. I skipped it. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, me, for using the log for once.
I don't really care what happens to Shido, one way or the other. But when I consider the fact that he's your enemy, I naturally think he's my enemy as well. I'm going to stay with you until the very end.
Good to hear. Even Sojiro's got a gun at me. Okay. Okay, that's good. Never mind then. I complained earlier about how they aren't suspicious of it, but still, it's still then... You know, people have a thing called common sense. But, whatever. I mean, if I was there, I probably would have pieced it all together. But, whatever. I don't care. I feel like I'm that guy in, like, movies, though, who questions everything.
Man. Hey, listen. Whoa. But...
So that was our explanation of how Futaba managed to send Akechi to the metaverse and Nijima at the same time. Anyway, though, the next time we meet in Persona 5, would you believe me if I told you it was more story? I'm not lying either. So the next time we meet in Persona 5, it's going to be a lot more story, but we are going to discover Shido's palace, which we technically... You get the idea. So see you guys next time, and take care.